Hello there, Michael again. We're going to look at another part of a video, this time with Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the world's famous footballers, one of probably the best ever footballers that we've seen, and he's being interviewed by an American man. So let's jump into the video right now and learn some English.
As human beings, we're driven a lot of times by other human beings. What other player or players make you the best you?
That's a good question.
That is a good question, but what was the question itself? Did you understand that? Did you hear that? Let's go back to the beginning.
As human beings, we're driven a lot of times by other human beings. What other player or players make you the best you?
As human beings, we're driven a lot of the time by other human beings. As human beings, we are driven a lot of the time by other human beings. So driven here means that we are motivated, we are pushed or stimulated to do something. So as humans, we are pushed or motivated because of what other people are doing. Now, there's a grammatical structure there called the passive. Can you hear that in that part of the sentence, the passive? Listen again.
As human beings, we're driven a lot of times by other human beings.
So there you see we are driven. So in English, when you have the verb to be in the present or the past or the future, so are, and the past participle, so driven, then that is called the passive voice. In other words, somebody is causing us to do something. In effect, we are the object of the verb. So we receive the verb. So we receive the driving or motivation from other human beings. Now, I appreciate if that's quite complicated for you to understand. Maybe you haven't studied the passive at school, at college, or in your house, but it's important that we understand this structure. So we are driven by other people is the passive. We do not drive ourselves. We are receiving the motivation or driving from someone, so other human beings. Let me give you another example of the passive. For example, the cake is eaten by me. The cake is eaten by me. The cake does not eat itself. We or someone, a human, eats the cake. So in that example, the cake is eaten by me is an example of the passive, just like in this sentence from the interviewer.
As human beings, we're driven a lot of times by other human beings.
And there you go. Let's continue. Let's listen to his answer.
That's a good question. To mention one, it's hard, but you know, the level that I am is like in other sports, Formula One, NBA. The best players always follow the best players.
So Cristiano Ronaldo says, well, to mention one is hard. To mention one person or player that stimulates or drives him, pushes him to be the best, it's difficult to say. But he starts talking about other sports now. Here we go.
In other sports, Formula One, NBA, the best players always follow the best players. They want to be in the top of the game because the other ones, they are there. You know, you cannot rest or sleep because the other one can pass you. Of course, we fight with everyone, with Neymar, with Messi, with Lewandowski, with Higuain, you know, with the top of the best players in the world. So, I mean, this is not fighting, but it's hard.
So, obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo is not a native English speaker, but he has spent time working and living in England when he played for Manchester United in the past. He then went to Spain, and now he's in Turin, in northern Italy, playing for Juventus. But let's listen again to his answer before we go.
Players. They want to be in the top of the game because the other ones, they are there. You know, you cannot rest or sleep because the other one can pass you. Of course, we fight with everyone, with Neymar, with Messi, with Lewandowski, with Higuain, you know, with the top of the best players in the world. So, I mean, this is not fighting, but it's hard, it's healthy.
So the answer to the question is that actually, like when you're the best, You are not fighting with other top players in the world like Higuain and Messi and Neymar. He's just saying we're not fighting. It's just healthy. It's healthy competition. So there we go. That's another example of how you can learn English in Rumii with me. Get in contact, www.goldlotus.co, and book yourself an online introductory English lesson in virtual reality in Rumii. And we can watch videos like this. You know, we can listen to your favorite sports stars, actors, actresses, business people, and we can pick apart, analyze the vocabulary they use and the grammar, and really build an understanding of of a conscious way to learn English, rather than just watching a film for 2 hours and saying, oh, I've watched Titanic with Leonardo DiCaprio. You've actually stopped, you've analyzed the grammar, the language, and then you move on. And there we go. So speak to you soon. Have a great weekend.